Welcome to FNaF News. I'm your host, the TNT Muffin, and today we're going to be talking about some Funko news and also a bunch of Youtooz news. So starting off with the Funko news, on the Walmart website they have two listings for the Liberty Chica merch, the action figure and the plushie. When the leaks were coming out, we were told that the Liberty Chica stuff would be Amazon exclusive, so I guess this deconfirms that since it's on the Walmart website. Not only do we have these two listings, but also for the action figure we've gotten an image of it. So yeah, the Liberty Chica action figure. I was pretty curious to see this one because I wasn't sure if the dress would have any articulation on it or not. As you can see, it doesn't, which I'm pretty glad about because it would look strange to have a giant cut across the chest or whatever. So this looks pretty nice. The paint on it is a little bit bad looking, I'm gonna be honest. Like all the black, it looks a little too solid maybe. Around the eyes, it looks a little messy. Around like the hat, I don't know what it's called, the crown? Cupcake looks pretty cool. I'm glad they used the fire. Good use of the transparent plastic. Looks pretty nice. They gave it the book. I think it has a bunch of good detailing. Pretty cool looking figure. The paint's just a little messy. So yeah, pretty excited to get this one. I'll have another cupcake for my collection. Okay, real quick before we get on to the Youtooz stuff, I want to talk about the book cover for the new Tales from the Pizzaplex book. As you can see, we've got the daycare attendant from Security Breach on the front, but with swirly eyes, and the title of this story is going to be Somniphobia. Somniphobia is the fear of falling asleep, and with this guy crawling around whenever the lights go out, I can see why you'd be scared of that. But yeah, this one's going to be pretty interesting, because it's a character we do already know. I feel like mostly with Fazbear Frights, they're introducing new characters, but this one it's gonna be pretty interesting because I expect it's gonna have something to do with the lights going out and him being kind of crazy. In Security Breach, there were little messages we got saying that, you know, the daycare made people not want to sleep with the lights off, and then also the lights on was bad. So it's going to be interesting to see if this is maybe one of those stories that we get referenced in Security Breach. But yeah, just wanted to go over that real quick, and now over to the Youtooz stuff that I'm going to talk about. So moving on to the Youtooz stuff, they did like a Q&A on Reddit, so I'm going to read off some of that stuff. What is the entire collection for Security Breach, if you can share? Youtooz says, hello, top of the afternoons to Youtooz. It is 5 vinyl figures and 2 plushies, but 2 items in the collection are exclusive off Youtooz. That's all, folks. Thank you, Youtooz. So this is some new information. There are actually going to be 2 Security Breach Youtooz plushies, so that's interesting. Somebody else asked who the new plushie in the Security Breach set is going to be, and Youtooz said Vanny. So Vanny is going to be one of the Security Breach plushies, but remember, they did say 2 of them, so we'll talk about that other one in a second. This guy said, is there any FNAF-related stuff planned after Fanverse? If so, could you tell us what it is? Youtooz says we have Security Breach planned and Fanverse. Anything beyond that's a secret, so they probably have some stuff planned, but they're not going to tell us just yet. They also asked, do you ever plan on making Sundrop and Moondrop figures? Youtooz says, just a plushie right now, but we might do a figure. So now we know that the second plushie in the Security Breach wave is going to be the daycare attendant. They didn't confirm if it's going to be the sun or the moon, but we do know it's going to be one of the 2. I'm just going to assume the moon since it's the cooler one. And then, will you ever make FNAF plushies? If so, could you name them? They said, yes, we have a bunch coming. So I guess these are the 2 for the Security Breach wave, but there are probably going to be more in the future, maybe like Fanverse and stuff like that. Speaking of the Fanverse, this guy says, any updates with the FNAF Security Breach or Fanverse waves? Youtooz says SB will be in late April or early May. Fanverse will be later this year, so probably coming out around the same time as the Funko stuff, like in the fall. So this part's actually interesting. In my last news video, I mentioned that the Vanny figure of the Youtooz wave is probably going to be the bonus one, because they were going to have the main set and then one bonus figure. The Vanny has a different box, so I assume that's the bonus figure, but this person asks, is the recently revealed Vanny figure a part of the main set, or is Vanny the bonus figure? And Youtooz actually said it's part of the main set. So now with the Security Breach wave, we know they're going to be 2 plushies. It's going to be the daycare attendant and Vanny, and then with the figures, we're going to actually get 6 of them. There's going to be Glamrock Freddy, Glamrock Chica, Montgomery Gator, Roxanne Wolf, Vanny, and then something else. We don't know yet. I'm not exactly sure which one, because I feel like a lot of the Security Breach characters are pretty equally important. You know, there's DJ Music Man, which would be sick. There's the Endoskeleton, Vanessa, maybe Gregory. You could get Afton. Not really sure which one. I do know that it's not going to be the daycare attendant because they said that right now they only have a plushie planned. So, we know it's not going to be that. I think Afton and Vanessa are probably the most likely. I would love DJ Music Man, but I feel like he would be a bit of a hard one to do. Then the final thing I want to talk about, this person asked, what other things do you have planned for FNAF? Youtooz says we have some other figures planned, also some plushies, along with a footsie. I at first didn't know what a footsie is, but I guess they're these little plush slipper things, so that's going to be interesting, I guess. So yeah, lots of cool news. We got a bunch of information on the Security Breach wave of Fanverse merch, and also some new Funko stuff. But that is all the news we have today. If you want to subscribe, click the button on top of my head. If you want to watch that last news video I made, you can click that button over there. And if you want to see some other video I made, click that button over there. And I'll see you when we get some more news on this Youtooz stuff.